Okay, welcome back to the BSN channel. Today I want to talk about superficiality, or just things that are superficial. I'll talk about what's opposite as well, the things that are profound in the world. This idea was given to me by another fellow YouTuber, Ghana Goddess 05. It took me quite long to do this video because I realized it's deeper than I thought. There's many dimensions to things that are superficial, so I don't know where to begin with this, to be honest. And it might seem a bit muddled up, but let's begin, yeah. Alright, so let me begin with what superficial means, yeah. Superficial means surface. Something that's obvious, something that the first thing you see. Yeah, it comes from a Latin word. I don't know it, but I know the meaning is surface. It means the surface. Now the opposite of superficial is something that's deep, something that has a lot of substance. So let me give you an example of something that's superficial. In fact, let me give you one of the main reasons why I wanted to talk about this. See, things like Instagram. Like in the last 10 years, or maybe like in the last 50 to 100 years here, I've noticed image is so important. Like the way things look can change your opinion or your decision making. That's important, Like for example, if you go on Instagram, people like certain pictures or certain images of people. I don't really understand it. I don't really get it because I'm not that sort of person. I don't really care what you look like. I mean, even if you put effort into it, I appreciate that, but at the same time, that's not something I care about. And I noticed the new generation of kids, the way they dress, the way they look, where they are at the moment, that's really important. It seems like it's important to them. And I don't want to call them superficial, because they might go home and read books, and they might be really deep thinkers. But with the way they act online, you wouldn't know. So, let me see. Let me start with myself here. Do I think I'm superficial? No. And the reason why I don't think I'm superficial is because I don't dress to impress. I dress appropriately, but I don't. Let's just say it's not my number one. It's not my goal to look great. I don't enjoy looking at myself in the mirror. I think that's a bit weird. To me though. I mean, I understand if you're getting ready, you need to look into the mirror. But I'm always get told off for like not shaving my beard and well, my hair's done, yeah, but sometimes my hair's not done. I just can't be bothered combing it, stuff like that. I just don't care about that. What I really care about is my family. What I read. I do love knowledge. I love knowledge a lot. I like reading different things, different proverbs. That gets into the opposite word of superficial, which would be to be profound, deep. And I don't want to say that being superficial is bad. I think being superficial can be good and bad. First example is you could be superficial in the sense of what you wear. But at the same time, when people get to know you, you're a very deep person. It's like, it's not all about what you're wearing. You might be wearing all the flashy stuff. You got all the swagger. You're looking good. But I talk to you, and then you're not that shallow. You're pretty deep. You know, you've got some deep. You got some emotional depth. Let's say that, whatever that means. That's quite a broad term. Like what emotional depth means. It's like you've got more to talk about than your image. You've got stuff of substance, something that people can feel. And when I say feel, I don't mean something that's tangible like this. I mean something that you can feel in your brain. Let me try and get into something else, because I keep losing my point. You can be superficial and be profound at the same time. I think that's a good balance. But then you've got the people who are superficial only, and then you've got the people who are the total opposite. They don't care about their image, blah blah blah. And that can hinder you sometimes, because in this 21st century, if you want to get a job, you gotta look good. I hate to say it. I mean, it's not written in the rule book or anything, but appearance can say a lot. And that's one thing where, you know, being superficial can help you. But then again, when you get to the interview, you're gonna have to talk. So being just superficial doesn't help. You can't just look the part and then not do the part. But at the same time, this is not the old times. This is not 100 years ago where you could just, you know, come on a ship, come on some ancient ship that you've been on for like 3 weeks. You smell of body odor. You don't look good, you don't smell good, but you have the skills needed. It's not those days. If you stink and you don't look good, and like you don't even wear a suit and tie and stuff like that, good luck, you're not getting a job. So I believe that being superficial and not being superficial, if you combine them together, I think it's quite a good quality to have. It's quite a good quality to have. But there is a bad side. I do feel like being too superficial is worse than being the total opposite. The reason why I say that is, it's like morally, I don't feel like it fulfills you. That's how I feel. I feel like if all you care about is what other people see when they look at you, I feel like you're ignoring something within yourself that you haven't fixed. Because maybe it's just me. Like, I don't have the answers. But I don't care what you think about me. Like, you could say the worst thing. I really don't care. It's like, but I'm open-minded. Like, I would think, okay, this person has a point. Okay, I'll try and fix up my appearance and stuff. But just being superficial only, I can see you getting tricked a lot. Because a person out there who knows how to combine the two can trick you. Like, for example, a girl might be looking at some boy, and the way he carries himself, like the way he looks and the way he walks, the way he talks, the stuff that you see and hear, you might think, wow, this guy is... I can't say the word. I can't pretend to be a girl. But the girl will find him attractive. But what if he turns out to be a psychopath? How are you meant to know? He dresses like everyone else. He looks nice. His appearance is good. But he keeps a knife in his bag. And he likes to spend nighttime in the park waiting for lonely women. Yeah, it don't help to be that superficial. Everything is deeper than it seems. Like the other day, yeah, I was walking through the park, yeah. I thought, you know what, I'm gonna cut through the grass. Not thinking in my head that, you know, it's been raining. Beneath the surface, there's soil. Rain, soil, me not thinking really good. I ended up walking. My new trainers, well, it's not new, but I clean them. Yeah, I'm not rich. I've got to clean my trainers. It was full of mud. It got dirty. It was finished. I guess I was being superficial. Like, some people used to say, all blondes are stupid. Like, if you see a blonde white woman with big breasts, she's not going to be smart. I beg to differ. Yeah, there might be a lot of those that fulfill that stereotype, but there's a lot of those that don't. And they're smarter than you, smarter than me. It doesn't help to be that superficial. In fact, it helps you more to have a mixture, because you can manipulate your way through the world. You know what the world wants to see, but you're deep enough to not let it, trap you. Or maybe it does trap you along the way. But if you can manipulate the system, because the system nowadays, it is superficial. Image is so important, and I don't know why. To me, it's stupid, but if you want to be successful, like, for example, let me give another, and this is not a good example, this is for like the men. Every boy knows, when you're growing up, you know that in the beginning, when you're growing up, going to school and stuff, girls see appearance first, right? And sometimes it's not always the face. Like, you see, with us men, it's different. It's like, we're going to look at your bum, we're going to look at your breasts, we're going to look at your legs, and then we'll look at your face. The girls, they look at everything. And you don't really realize that at first, because and sometimes it's not just that, it can be reasons that I don't even understand. But at first, you make a mistake thinking you can just look anyhow and just be scruffy. And as you get older, you change your ways. You start dressing good, start wearing cologne. You go to the barber shop just before you go out. That's an example of how this superficial society molds your brain. Why do we feel the need to have to go to the barber shop and do that to attract women? Why does it have to be the other way around? Why do women spend hours doing their hair? I mean, actually, a lot of women do it because it makes them happy. But a lot of women do it because it makes them happy, but they also want a man. And same applies to men. They want to look good because they want to look good, but at the same time, they want to look good for the opposite sex. When back in the day, it was more about, 100 years ago, it was more about, wife and kids. Is the man going to be man enough to stay with a woman? Is the woman going to be woman enough to raise the kid? It was that simple. Them days. Now it's equal playing field. Like, it's everyone. We can all do the same things, except I can't make a baby in my womb, and a woman can't pee standing up. That's the only difference. Everything is the same. Anyway, how many minutes am I in? 13 minutes? 14 minutes? Alright, let me try and get to some stuff a bit quickly. Let me think. Like, for example, you see people at concerts. Nowadays, back in the day, we didn't have, well, even before I was born, you didn't have video cameras. I remember one time there was no YouTube. I remember that. So you'd listen to stuff on the radio, and you'd have such a strong imagination. And I don't know whether to call that superficial, because it's coming from within. That's another question. But I'd say it's not superficial. It might end up superficial, but it's not superficial because you're using your imagination, But nowadays everyone's using their phones or a camera to capture that moment. But you got to think, is it the same as just taking it all in. Like, just get rid of the phone. Yeah, just think about it. Get rid of the phone and you're thinking, this is my only time. I don't have a camera. I don't have a phone. I've never been to a concert. I'm going to see the star I want to see that I've never seen before. I'll never see that person again. I'll never hear that voice. See that feeling? Do you get that same feeling when you take a picture of it and look at it the next day? Be real to yourself. You might be happy, but it's not the same intense feeling. See that feeling, that real feeling you get if you don't have a phone, no recording device, nothing. You're just, it's all or nothing. See that's like the opposite of superficial. I don't know the word. Profound, deep, intense. It's with you. It's like it's in you. Someone could punch you up the next day and you're all bruised, but you're still happy you went to that concert. That's deep. But nowadays, everything's so... It's like we take moments for granted. You know? That's why I treasure the simple things. Like Christmas. I know the truth about Christmas. I'm not going to get into that, you know. I know it's a pagan festival, but, you know, my family still celebrate Christmas. And before, when I was young, I cared about the superficial part of it. Decorations, get the presents, and then the music, and then the movies, and all that stuff. Nowadays, I don't care about that. That means nothing. There's no Christmas tree in my house in Christmas. No way. I don't allow that. I told my parents, well, it's their choice, but they decided no. Okay, it makes sense. We just care about the family dinner. And you see that feeling you get. Mum, dad, your brothers and sisters, you might have your cousins around, and everyone's just eating. Nothing's expecting. You don't have to look a certain way. You don't have to... Obviously, you got to be sensible and stuff, but it's just a warm, intense feeling, and it's hard to put a word to it. And you know what? Sometimes I try and film it, and it's just not the same. It's like, you don't want to film it. It's too deep for that. Because if you film it, you're only filming the physical part of it, because the main part is in you. Like, you can't film that part unless I explain to you I'm feeling something that's so deep. So I think I'm going on a bit, but let me try and get to another point. What's another point I was trying to say? Like, for example, I gotta stop saying for example. See your life calling, yeah? Something in life that you really want. Usually, what really makes you happy, it's not just superficial, you know? It's like, yeah, you might want something physical, but you acquiring that thing is deeper than just holding it. I don't know if I'm getting anywhere with this. I could be just chatting rubbish to you. Like, for example, compare getting the car that you really wanted to seeing your long lost brother that you haven't seen in 5 years. They're both things you really want, but you experience them in different ways. Like, for example, when you get your car, you're just like, oh, jeez, look at my whip. But when you see your long lost brother, you're just like you don't know, you know, you don't want to smile. You're trying not to smile. You're looking shy, and but it's a different feeling, right? And that feeling lasts for a long time. But then again, you might have really wanted that. I'm not saying you're shallow, but you might have really wanted that car so much. You're done. That's you. Be like, you know what? I've got this car. I'm done. I don't need anything else. But the only difference is you can get another car. You can't get another brother. See those moments when you reunite with your family? Them moments are not easy to come by, because when your family member dies, gone. I had an uncle, rest in peace, Uncle Eric, died of cancer 2 months ago. It was, I can't explain it. 1 minute he was there and he was gone. I was just talking to him in the hospital. He was there. He was fine. I wouldn't say he was fine. He was in the hospital, getting told, you're basically dead. It's a miracle how he's even survived. About 4 chemo treatments. And he's just, the pastors are there and stuff, and we're hoping that maybe a miracle can happen. And then he just died. Then that moment, it's more than just physical. Like, you can't look on the surface. You wouldn't know. Like, you wouldn't know that what I saw and what our family felt, because we wouldn't show it. But then again, that's why I'm going to conclude with this, yeah. I think being superficial and not being superficial, they work together. I think to survive in this world, they need to coincide. You have to be a bit superficial. You can't walk around all grumpy because someone died. Like, you just got to get on with it. But in you, you're thinking, wow. I can't explain what you think, because again, words, like when you explain something, there's words that you use to explain things, and words are images. Believe it or not, words are images, and it's just a gateway to that feeling that you get, because each word might bring a feeling, because the word is deeper than the word. If you know what I'm saying. It's like, I can't explain it. It's like the meaning of the word is deeper than the word. What's another thing I wanted to say? I think it was some Russian writer. I can't remember. He was called Alexander. I don't remember the name. Alexander something. He said hastiness and superficiality they are psychic diseases of the 20th century. I agree with that, because we rush into things so much. Like, we'll look at something and then make a decision based on how it looks. That's just how the world is changing. And I don't know. I'm a bit scared for the younger generation, but it's been like this for a long time though. We can't act like this is something new. The world is just gonna get more superficial. Like, let me give one more example and I end this, because this is getting too long here. You see the way young girls dress and the way young boys dress. This is how being superficial can, lead you to another conclusion. Most young girls are quite innocent, but what they wear nowadays. If I was just quick to judge things, like a lot of people are, I'll just be like, oh, she's a whore. She wants sex. She wants sex now. Look at another boy I might say, skinny jeans? Oh, he's gay. Oh, he's homosexual. Oh, he's feminine. That's superficial. I don't know him. That's just what he's wearing. He might be able to thump my face and just go, I'm on the floor. The same guy called feminine has knocked me out. But again, it's still, they are still superficial, those people, because they're following fashion, following trends. And I've never been a person to follow trends. Like, I always realized, like, Jay-Z must have said something when I was young, and I took it on board. He said, if everyone's wearing long sleeves, how about you be the guy who just changes the trend? Wear what you're wearing. It doesn't matter what people think, it's about what you think. Don't be another sheep. You know? Following what you see. Oh, he did it. Oh, I'm gonna do it. Why are you gonna do it? Do you even know why he did it? You're just doing it because he did it. Why? Anyway, I'm not gonna get too long. I might have to do another part to this, to be honest. You know, this is... Didn't really think I was gonna talk this long. But anyway, if you like. If you dislike. Leave a comment. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Peace.